Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. So I know now more than I ever have since I uploaded the very first video on this YouTube channel over a year and a half ago that Descendants and Zombies fans will love you forever. And it shows every single time that I upload a video because someone never fails to hit my subscribe button. Guys, seriously, thank you so much. Because you guys took a guy who wanted his voice to be heard more than anything else in the world, wanted to be seen by thousands of people on YouTube, and just tried to put his videos out there to a global audience. And you guys took something that started as a whisper and really turned it into a global phenomenon. Descendants and Zombies, I know for certain now, changed my life for the better because it gave me the honor not only to talk about my favorite stars from the two franchises, it gave me the honor to meet each and every one of you. And through meeting each and every one of you, we shared in that same passion. We shared in each other's stories, and we became the best of friends. And that is the greatest honor that anybody could ever have to create these videos and be rewarded because of. Because of each and every one of you, this YouTube channel has become the most revered and one of the most popular Descendants and Zombies YouTube channels in the world. I don't know if we are the most popular Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel in the world, but we are certainly one of them. And it's because of each and every one of you. This truly has been an unforgettable experience, an experience I will never ever forget, and I want you to know from my heart to yours, I am eternally grateful for your guys' contributions to this YouTube channel. All the times that we've talked about Freya Sky, we've talked about Meg Donnelly, we've talked about Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner, who I call Rube, because I have the biggest crush in the world on her. It's meant the world to me. And meeting each and every one of you, just to be in your guys' presence, to talk about your favorite stars, to bring it to life for you in a way that I know no other YouTube creator is able to do, has become the greatest honor of my life. And I want you guys to know that no matter what happens to me in life, this YouTube channel will always be here. No matter what I've got going on, whatever I've got happening in my own life, I will put it aside every single time to make sure you've got at least one video about Descendants and Zombies uploaded to this YouTube channel every single day, or every single time that I promise you a video, there will always be a video here. Because the reality of it is, we're all back to school, we're learning, we're becoming smarter every day, and while you're in school, I'm working hard to produce these videos so that when you get home off the school bus, you get home from your walk on the way home from school, there's always going to be a video on this YouTube channel uploaded, because I know what it's like to watch Saturday morning cartoons or be excited for the afternoon Disney Channel block where all these cartoons used to air, like Darkwing Duck, The House and Mouse, Bonkers, Goof Troop. I know what it's like to get home from school and watch Disney Channel and be so excited about your favorite Disney show airing a new episode. So because I know what it's like to be each and every one of you, because I grew up as a millennial, I just want to honor you guys. And I want you to love this YouTube channel so much so that you would like the guy enough to hit the subscribe button. Because I really do believe that so many people upload videos about Descendants and Zombies, and they don't even know what Descendants and Zombies is, and they don't appreciate Descendants and Zombies. To appreciate Descendants and Zombies, you got to talk about your favorite moments. You got to talk about what made you a fan of Descendants and Zombies. For me, it was Ruby Rose Turner because of how kind she was and how genuinely sweet the girl was. She wanted to make the most of every opportunity she was given because she looked at it as a chance. She looked at it as a chance to entertain each and every one of you. She had the honor of doing it as Bridget. Her time was very short-lived with the franchise, and I will forever advocate for Ruby Rose Turner. And what I mean by forever advocate is I will forever support her. And I will always and forever believe that her story is far from over, because her story was never told. She just offered us an explanation as to why the Queen of Hearts was so evil. And I get it. The Queen of Hearts is not everybody's favorite Disney villain because of how annoying she was. But what you got to understand is she was solely created with the sole purpose of being an annoying villain. Everything from her voice to the way she looked, how she was so chubby, how she had this evil-looking smile. She was solely created with the sole purpose of being an evil villain. And she achieved that purpose, and she accomplished her goal because we were buying what the Alice in Wonderland franchise was selling for the 4 books, the TV series, the live-action movies. We bought it. And that's exactly what Disney wanted us to do. They wanted to buy into the idea that this villain was going to be the most annoying villain in Disney's history. And when you look at the history of the villains, dating all the way back as far as the Evil Queen from 1938, there's always been an interesting backstory. Even though sometimes the backstories are forgotten about, there's always an interesting backstory. And that's what Ruby Rose Turner's sole purpose was put forth in the Descendants franchise, The Rise of Red, to really illustrate, to explain to us why this villain turned out the way she did. And now after altering the time fabric, of course now the Evil Queen is good. So we're going to find out in Descendants 5 Book of Wonderland if Happily Ever After was really all Red and Chloe Everett wanted or what they expected. And I, for one, think it's going to be more than they ever wanted. So because of that, it's going to make Descendants by Book of Wonderland a very interesting story. So should people criticize Descendants by Book of Wonderland without even having known anything about the plot or taking a chance on it? I really don't think so. I was always a big fan. I say this because I was always a big fan of Alice in Wonderland. I was always a big fan of the Cherokee Cat, the Mad Hatter, because they offered so much to the franchise. And the question has always been with me ever since Alice in Wonderland characters saw their introduction into the Descendants franchise and just showed up. I like how they just randomly showed up. Okay, we're here. Where is Alice in Wonderland? Where is Alice herself? With how much of a critical role that Alice played in the Alice in Wonderland franchise, where is Alice? Or where is Alice's daughter? Or where is Alice's son? I think introducing a character specifically designed and revolving around Alice would add even more unpredictability to what Alice in Wonderland has meant to the Descendants franchise moving forward. If Red's going to have a sister, we need Alice, because I think it would add a lot more beauty to the franchise, a lot more unpredictable moments, a lot more fun times for Descendants fans. And I think a greater appreciation would be had by everybody who was a fan of Alice in Wonderland, because I know a lot of people who are huge fans of Alice in Wonderland. I know a girl from the World Wrestling Federation years ago. Her name was Alexa Bliss. She was a really big fan of Alice in Wonderland characters. So because she was a really big fan of Alice in Wonderland characters, I mean, she lived her life like Alice in Wonderland. She works with the WWE, and she still patterns her character after Alice in Wonderland. She models her outfits after Alice in Wonderland. So there really is a greater appreciation for people with the Alice in Wonderland characters. So too are there so many Disney princesses and stories that have sometimes been forgotten about that a lot of people have a greater appreciation for. I know a lot of fans of Beauty and the Beast. I know a lot of fans of Hercules. I know a lot of fans of The Little Mermaid who choose them to be their favorite princesses. Now, unquestionably, Cinderella is the most revered Disney princess of all time. It will forever be argued, and that argument will be presented that Cinderella is everybody's go-to and everybody's favorite because of some story that relates to, Cinderella about their own life and their own circumstance. But I really do appreciate how there's such a diversity about, who everybody's favorite princess is. For me, if you ask me, my favorite princess is Rapunzel. So because my favorite princess is Rapunzel, because of how curious she was, how full of life she was, how excited she was to explore her world outside of the tower, fall in love with Eugene, show a greater appreciation for life in general with all these mood swings she was having. Her moods were like a revolving door. I really appreciated that character, and I fell in love with that character by 2010 in the Tangled movie, because I thought Tangled was one of the most successful franchises of all time, generating over between $250 and $320 million. That just shows how far a franchise can be taken with Disney now. And I really believe that I've been waiting on Rapunzel to see her introduction into the franchise for forever. Because there's so much of a story with Rapunzel. There's so much of a story with Aladdin and Jasmine, who I'm also a big fan of. So this story can keep on going for forever. So even if Ruby Rose Turner does not return to reprise her role as Bridget, there's a chance she could return to reprise her role as Rapunzel herself, or Rapunzel's daughter. If the girl wants to play Rapunzel in the live-action Tangled, I see nothing wrong with that. It's a dream she's always had. I am fully supportive of it, and I will continue to be supportive of it for the foreseeable future. While this conversation revolves around Naomi Scott returning to play the live-action Jasmine and the live-action Aladdin, and Will Smith playing the genie, who did fabulous jobs, I will forever advocate for Kylie Cantrell, because Kylie Cantrell is the most lifelike representation of what a live-action Jasmine should be for a live-action franchise such as Aladdin. With how revered Aladdin became over the last 35 years or longer, I really do believe that a princess should be played by someone who is so iconic and has a chance of going down as being legendary, and that is Kylie Cantrell, because of the dedication Kylie Cantrell has shown to Descendants and every role that she's had. And here's the thing about Kylie Cantrell. They were reoccurring roles in shows like Bizarre Verk and Gabby Dern and The Unsittables. The thing about a reoccurring role is you don't see the person a whole lot. So because we don't see the person a whole lot, you wouldn't expect to see so much dedication to roles. And Kylie Cantrell just had so much dedication to what she wanted to do and what she wanted to become. And I have a lot of respect for her for that, because a lot of people, just coming through the doors of Disney, they look at it as an opportunity to achieve more exposure, and they get the exposure, and they just vanish from out of nowhere and fade off into obscurity. And I really believe that if Kylie Cantrell holds on for just a little while longer, the best years of her career are going to be witnessed. And I, for one, am incredibly excited about the future for Kylie Cantrell, because when you look at songs like Goodie Bag, Denim, and See You Tonight, there's a reason why they're being downloaded so much. There's a reason why they're receiving so many great reviews. But also within the great reviews the music is receiving from Clarke and there are also a lot of negative reviews, and I get that, because we can't expect to see anything without criticism. We couldn't expect to go without criticism for Descendants and Zombies. Zombies has especially received its fair share of criticism, and that's why I'm here, to upload great videos for you guys about Descendants and Zombies, because I know you've honored the franchises. You've had so much respect for them. And that's why every morning after 9:05 a.m., I try to upload a video about Descendants and Zombies, at least one every day. Because I really do believe that for far long enough now, you guys have deserved better. If somebody is going to review Descendants and Zombies, then that's what they should do. They should show up and they should review Descendants and Zombies, even if it is only after 9:05 a.m. every morning. Because I really do look forward to these videos. I look forward to meeting each and every one of you again. I look forward to talking to you about Descendants and Zombies and why I felt so inspired by the franchises that it really touched my heart. Because if I were to tell you that Descendants and Zombies didn't touch my heart, I would be telling you the biggest lie ever. But Descendants and Zombies really did touch my heart because of the messages of how everybody can achieve acceptance, how everybody can have a dream happen for them from out of nowhere. And as long as you hold on to that belief that a dream can and will happen for you, the possibilities are endless. And that's what makes me so excited about life. That's what makes me feel so honored to be here. Because you guys think this is going to happen in Descendants, or you think that is going to happen in Descendants. And I'm here to tell you guys, there is nothing wrong with being a fan of Descendants and Zombies, and there is nothing wrong with holding on to your dreams for just a little while longer. Because that's what the critics want you to buy into. That's what they're selling. So if you buy into what they're selling you, about how Descendants is going to stop making movies, how Zombies does not need to be produced, then you're buying what they're selling, and you're believing and becoming convinced of what they're trying to make you believe. But because you have your own predictions and your own theories on what happens with Descendants and Zombies, which I love for you to share on this YouTube channel from time to time, that means Descendants has a chance. And you keep giving it a chance, and that's exactly what I want you to do. Is I want you to keep giving these franchises a chance that you've known and loved, because the reality of it is, as a YouTube creator, I know that these franchises are franchises that you grew up with. And you learned a lot, and you learned a lot perhaps a lot quicker than you did from any other franchise from whatever generation you were a fan of Disney. This guy, he's been around for a long time, so I've been a part of every generation of Disney and every TV show I saw the heights of popularity ascended to, for Hannah Montana, High School Musical, Phineas and Ferb. I saw them and I loved them all. So I know what it's like to be each and every one of you. I know what it's excited to be about, Disney Channel shows every afternoon after you get home from school. I know what it's like to be excited about the new Disney Channel original movie. And I'm talking back in like the early 1990s. So I know what it's like to be in your position. And I can only imagine what it's like when you hear the criticism directed towards all your favorite stars. But I'm here to tell you guys that you can do something about it, just like you did at the Worlds Collide Tour. Because there were a fair amount of critics in the Worlds Collide Tour crowds. From whatever venue you went to, whatever show you remember being a part of, it did see its fair share of critics, and it did get its fair share of criticism. And because I knew this was what was going to happen heading into the Worlds Collide Tour, I wanted to be that one guy on YouTube. I wanted to be the one YouTube channel that you knew you would see great reviews from. And you would get a greater appreciation, and you would get a vibe off of this YouTube channel where an appreciation was shown to your favorite stars for what felt like the first time in forever. Because forgive me, I see an issue with Clarke and crying and being upset. I see an issue with Ruby Rose Turner crying and being upset because there's no need of it. When we can take 15 minutes to record a video, we should take 15 minutes out of our busy schedules, quote unquote, to record a video with positive reviews of your favorite stars. Because I know what it's like to be a fan of Descendants. I know what it's like to want the dolls. I know what it's like to want the posters in your room. I know what it's like to want to be the biggest fan of Descendants and Zombies just so they'll notice you and know you exist in this world. I've always wanted to know that Miley Cyrus knew that I was her biggest fan. I don't even know if she knows that at this point, but the reality of it was I always wanted Miley to know that I wanted her to know that she was my biggest fan. And I want the Descendants stars to know at this point in my career that if it's the last thing that I do, I will take bullets for every single one of them. And I will take bullets for every single one of them because that's what they deserve. They don't deserve to wake up every morning and wonder why they're, crying all the time because of reviews that are being uploaded. That's what a critic does. A critic will find the negative in everything to talk about. And because a critic will find the negative in everything to talk about, that is totally disrespectful to you as the fans of the franchises, because they never give you credit for being smarter than what you actually are, which you are, because Descendants and Zombies fans are incredibly supportive of who and what they love. I mean, my favorite moment in Descendants: The Rise of Red was the Life is Sweeter When You're a music video because of the emphasis on 12 or 13 different characters. Because they were 12 or 13 different characters that we had forgotten about, that we don't think about as much. But because of this song, people like Aladdin and Jasmine just showed up randomly from out of nowhere with such a cool vibe. And that was the cool thing about that music video. Not only did they reintroduce us to characters we may have forgotten about, but they reintroduced us to them with such a cool vibe, which is why I really appreciated what Jennifer Fang offered to this franchise. Now, I don't know if Kimmy Gatewood is going to do the same thing, and that's why I've forever been an advocate for wanting to be the writer, producer, and director of Descendants, because I think I can offer a lot to this franchise and more than anyone who's had anything to do with it. Now, that's not taking anything away from the writers and producers, but I feel as if you guys have deserved better in the way of reviews. You've deserved better production value, and I think I'm the guy to give it to you, because I understand and appreciate these characters more than anybody who's ever compiled a review on YouTube. And because I understand these characters more and know what it's like to be a fan of them. I mean, I go all the way back to playing Super Nintendo and playing the Aladdin video game. That's how far back I go with these characters. So, for sure, I have a greater appreciation for these characters, and I just wish, I can only wish, that more people on YouTube who would upload these videos would have a greater appreciation. I mean, I remember on July 3rd, 1997, when the Hercules video game was released on the very first PlayStation. I bought my very first PlayStation for $209 at a local Toys R Us, and I thought I had the world. When you had the latest Nintendo or PlayStation video game console in the 1990s, you were rich. Everybody loved you because you had the latest PlayStation on the block, and you have the latest probably wrestling game or Disney video game to go with it. And I remember in particular being a fan of the Hercules video game, which I will talk more on today in my videos, because I think there is a greater appreciation for these characters from Aladdin and Hercules that are sometimes forgotten about. Because when you think about the story of Aladdin and Jasmine, all Aladdin ever wanted Jasmine to do was trust him. And eventually he earned her trust by taking her hand and taking her on a magic carpet ride. And I guess that's the way you can think about this YouTube channel, because that's all I ever wanted to earn from you guys, is your trust. And if you trusted me to upload you great Descendants of Zombies videos, I want you guys to know that I've never felt more honored being in your presence, being able to talk about Descendants of Zombies. Because if you're going to talk about Descendants of Zombies, then that's what you should do, is you should talk about Descendants of Zombies and showcase it for its true worth and its true value while earning the trust of your audience. Because a lot of YouTube creators will promise you Descendants of Zombies videos. I know how it goes. And you're feeling let down about the content of the video, the quality of the video, the presentation of it, the production value. And you guys have deserved far better production value when it comes to these videos for a very long time. And forgive me, I just wanted to be that guy to give it to you. That you knew was going to show up on YouTube every morning or every afternoon when you got off the school bus or finished your walk home from school. And you knew there was going to be a video about Descendants of Zombies, because way too many people have promised you Descendants of Zombies videos and they have never fallen through on them. And because they've never fallen through on them, or a video on whatever the topic was, it really let you feel down, because you had subscribed previously to a Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel that you thought was going to come through for you, but they didn't. And there's no worse feeling in the world when your favorite stars aren't showcased the way they're meant to be showcased, or they're given the appreciation that they deserve. To me, my heart goes out to every single person who ever thought they were a fan of Descendants of Zombies, who were ever proud to say they were a fan of Descendants of Zombies. And I just want you guys to know that we are in this together. And what I mean by we're in this together, if we are up against 15 million critics with Descendants of Zombies, with reviews of Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner, who I call Rube, having everything to do with how I have the biggest crush in the world on her, and I wish she knew I existed. The thing is, if we're up against 15 million critics, that means that I will take bullets for every single fan of Descendants of Zombies, because I, too, love the franchises the same way you have always have. And because you have forever and always loved Descendants, you have deserved better in my eyes. And I just wanted to be that guy to give it to you. So if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, you can. My email address is clarkjonathan189@gmail.com if you have any questions. I really do love creating these videos for Descendants of Zombies, and it's really become the greatest honor of my life. There's no place in the world I would rather be than having the honor to sit behind this podcast microphone to have reviewed Descendants of Zombies for you every single time I have the opportunity to. I look forward to uploading great videos for you every day. It's a passion. I do it with a passion. I've carried this passion with me for forever. In the description of every video I upload, it tells you you'll have a greater appreciation for Descendants after you watch these videos, and it's exactly what I wanted you to have, is a greater appreciation to run away with from these videos, so that you're excited about the newest video that's going to be uploaded, the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs, because there really is no greater way of showing an appreciation for Descendants of Zombies than by showcasing it for its true value and its true worth. I love you guys so much, man. Thank you for always and forever supporting this YouTube channel. I don't know where I would be without your guys' love and support, because I could be just some guy uploading videos on YouTube, perhaps streaming video games of the latest Crash Bandicoot downloadable level. I don't know. But you guys have made this YouTube channel into such a huge success because you're a fan of Descendants and Zombies, and I'm just here to tell you guys, so am I. And I've never felt so honored to be in your guys' presence talking about everything Descendants and Zombies. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this video to my YouTube channel. Again, I don't know how much of a reach every video that I upload is going to have or meant to have, but I really do look forward to these videos. I will be back later on this afternoon with a new video on Descendants and Zombies, so keep watching for the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs to drop. Don't forget to hit my subscribe and my like buttons and ring my bell to stay up to date with notifications in your drop-down notifications menus on your YouTube accounts, because you're not going to want to miss the latest episode of Jonathan Clarke Video Blogs, because we have a lot to get to and a lot to discuss. Stay calm and zombie on, everybody, into the foreseeable future. I love you guys so much. Keep on subscribing and hit that subscribe button, because I would love for you to be a part of this incredible journey.